What's up? I'm +4 Charisma and welcome to my mushroom hunting video. Today I'm going to give you the best tips and tricks on how to find morel mushrooms out in the woods. I mowed the lawn earlier. I didn't feel like putting any makeup on, so I didn't, and I hardly wear makeup anyway. I usually just put eyeliner on, to be honest, because I don't like crap all over my face unless I am doing an orc getup, because let's be honest, it's worth it to be an orc for a while. Let's get started and hopefully this doesn't suck. The first tip that I'm going to give you is to use a mesh bag. You can see I have some of my mushrooms already in the mesh bag. If you don't use a mesh bag, morel gremlins will attack you in the night and steal your soul and tear you limb from limb. Tip number 2, when looking for morels, stop and look around and get right down close to the dirt. Stick your face in the dirt. Let me show you. Get real down in it. Look in the dirt. Snuffle around a little bit. Kind of like a pig. They're really good at finding mushrooms. And then look around. Oh, what have we here? Do you see them yet? No, probably not, because your face isn't in the dirt yet. Look. There you go. 3 of them right there. You might also notice that this is on a slope. Morel mushrooms seem to really enjoy slopes. Tip number 2 or 3, I don't really remember what number I'm on. Look for dark soil, like dark as my soul soil. Here's a good example right here. Make sure you know what poison ivy and poison oak looks like in all its stages. Here you go. Pro tip, if you aren't sure if it's poison ivy, you can rub your hand on it really well and in a couple of hours you'll know. Tip number 5, stick your face in the plants to get right down on their level and look through the plants until you see a mushroom. Oh, I actually see one right there. Now, this is an important lesson. When you see a mushroom, do not rush over to it, bumbling around and stepping on everything. That's really stupid. You might crush mushrooms, and what you should do is pause, stop, and look around. Put your face back in the plants. Put your hands in the plants. Some people use sticks to push away the plant matter. I don't do that. I like using my hands because what is the point of mushroom hunting if you can't get a little dirty? So what we're going to do is we're going to pause, we're going to get real down low, and we're going to look around because there's probably going to be other morels in the area. There's one right there. And there's one right there. Take more time to notice if there's more morels in the area. When you do finally step and walk over to it, do not just tromp over. Look where you're stepping. Yeah, so we're gonna carefully watch where we're putting our feet. See? Try and not step on plants as much as possible, like so. Head over to the mushroom, crouch down real low, and pick it, and then keep looking around to make sure that you didn't miss any, and so forth. So we're gonna do that right now. So we're gonna go ahead. Some people like to use knives. I like to just pinch it off, or I try to avoid pulling it all the way up out of the ground and such. All right, and then we're going to put it in our mesh bag, which, as I explained before, is exceedingly important because you gotta spread the spores around. All right, so we're gonna go and carefully make our way over to the other morels. And then there was some more up here. Let's see one up there. But I want to be careful that I'm not going to step on other mushrooms on the way. All right, where did it go? If you lose sight of a mushroom, that's okay. Just get right back down on the ground, look through the plants, and find it again. You'll probably find it. You'll probably be fine. Just do it. I often like to find mushrooms around mossy areas. I think mushrooms enjoy mossy areas because there's damp water under the moss and it traps nutrients and as a moisture helps them grow. Tip number 6, you're gonna get spider webs in your face. You're gonna have to get over it. There's one. Ugh. And I think I just walked into one while I was trying to show you that picture. So, it's gonna happen. Tip number 7, there's certain trees that morels like to congregate under. Look for dead elm or giant oak trees, or sometimes they just like to hang out in the grass. What do you know? I don't know why. You gotta ask them. Sometimes they like to be under honeysuckle trees. The forest can be a scary place. There's raccoons and deer and mostly other people. And thorns and ticks and lots of other stuff that can hurt you. There's 2 approaches you could take to this. You could be scared and run away, or you could embrace it. Tip number 8, be respectful of the woods and don't be afraid of getting out there and getting dirty and meeting random creatures in the woods, because you can meet random creatures anywhere, and that's just as scary. Embrace your inner wild person. Okay, I see another morel, so I'm gonna go and I'm going to carefully walk over and assess the area, watch for other morels, and then pick that one and any other ones that I see in the area. I'll see you in the next frame or clip or whatever. Tip number 10, stare at a picture of a freaking morel mushroom until you see it in your freaking sleep. I guarantee you, when you look at the ground, if they're there, you'll see them. You'll probably see them if they aren't there too. And when you dream and when you close your eyes. Know what a false morel looks like, and know that it actually looks nothing like an actual morel. If you've done your research on what a morel looks like, you should already know that. But morels are hollow inside, while false morels are not. Morels have more like uniform crevices, I guess. They don't look like a giant sponge. They're usually a little less brown, although sometimes they're kind of brown. They have deeper crevices usually. And yeah, they're really nothing like it. So I hope that you don't mistake them. But here's another morel that I found, so. Tip number 12, you need to become one with nature. You need to feel the mushrooms in the forest. And yes, I mean that you need to become a goddamn elf from Lord of the Rings. Just not like they were in the Silmarillion, not like killing each other and stuff. Don't do that, that's bad. Here's another tip, don't anger the bees. Yeah, don't do that. Another tip, watch out for thorns. And when you're crawling under bushes, make sure your back doesn't rub up against them. That's all the time we have for today, but I hope you get out and mushroom hunt. I hope I don't see you, because that would mean that you're in my hunting ground. And don't be scared of the woods, and become one with nature. And once again, I can't reiterate enough that you should be a goddamn Lord of the Rings elf to find mushrooms. I'll see you next time. Namaste.